All right, guys, this is another CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualia, sitting here with Mike Molyneux and Marv Izan. So this Patriots team looks great all the way around. The running game, great. Receiving core, amazing. Quarterback, still the greatest of all time. The defense, stacked. But there are a couple of little holes on this team, and we're going to talk about whether or not those detriments can really bite this team in the ass down the line. One of those detriments we're gonna save as the second one because we're gonna let Mike go off a little bit because he's been licking his chops about this guy for about 4 or 5 months now, begging for somebody to come in for competition.
Yeah.
And the offensive line, not because of their lack of talent, but because of injury. You already lost your captain David Andrews. Now Ted Karras is there. Now your left tackle getting an MRI on his foot. By the time this comes out, we could know what's going on with him. It looks like he's going to miss at least a few weeks. Isaiah Wynn down, foot injury. Now, Newhouse over on the left side. So, guys, let's start off with the offensive line. Are you worried at all about this offensive line going forward? And let's hypothetical. I think this is what's going to happen. I think Isaiah Wynn will be out for an extended amount of time. Are you concerned with Tom Brady getting hit and with this offensive line not being up to the standard that we thought they would be at the start of the season with two of their main guys being out of the line? Mike, we'll start with you.
Yeah, watching that game yesterday, Tom Brady was taking some hits. He sure was. And I was there watching it with Marv before we prepared to do our post-game show. And I'm saying, if the sucky Dolphins are getting to Tom Brady and putting some hits on him in this game, imagine what happens if they face a more high-powered, defensive line.
A real football team?
A real football team that can really put pressure on Brady. It's scary to think about because I think at this point now we all know, yes, Tom Brady, he still has it. He still has the arm. He still has the accuracy. He's showing a little bit of the deep ball now this year. But at the same time, in the back of everybody's head, I'll say it. I have no problem saying it. We all know this man's 43 years old. And if you're 23 and you get popped and you get a little serious injury, it's like, all right, do your recovery, whatever the time it is to come back, do what you have to do. At 43, you get a serious injury, you might tell yourself, look, I'm all set. So I think everybody's obviously constantly worried about Tom Brady's health because nobody wants to see him go down for an extended period of time because that extended period of time might actually mean probably retirement. So you want this guy protected at all costs. It's tough right now because I think Dante Starnecchia, like I've said many times, the greatest offensive line coach of all time. He's in a tough situation because it's not, like you said, Nick, a lack of talent. It's just a lack of depth. There's not many guys there to rely upon. There was a funny video that I saw on Twitter where I think that guy Newsome, that's the guy who stepped in yesterday. Newhouse, sorry. He was standing in front of reporters and they asked him about the playbook or whatnot. And he said, man, I think I know about 80% of the playbook. And Marcus Cannon is literally standing behind him. When he said 80, Marcus Cannon's face and eyes wide open like, nah, he lying. He don't know 80%.
Another guy too, Marcus Cannon, out right now.
Yeah, the video's hilarious. And that just goes to show you right there with Cannon out, not even playing. He's looking at Newhouse like, yeah, this guy doesn't even really know the playbook. So it's just a tough situation right there for the offensive line. And hoping the Patriots can do something to figure out whether it's bringing somebody in. They got to fix that because that is key in making sure Tom Brady is good to go for the long run.
All right, Marv, what do you think? Should we worry about this offensive line?
Yes, you should worry. I mean, you're talking about your center, your left tackle, your right tackle, all inexperienced players right now. Newhouse just learning the playbook, like Mike just mentioned, and Newhouse got, he got picked on last week, last game against the Miami Dolphins. A couple of false starts. He let a couple of hits on Brady, so he's getting acclimated in it as well. There's just a lot of inexperience, and now you're asking Scarnecchia, who's great, to really prep this offensive line in practice on a week-by-week basis.
During
the season. And luckily for the Patriots, like we mentioned earlier, the schedule is soft. You got the Jets twice. You got the Giants. You got the Buffalo Bills. So they have a lot of time to, really gel together and get some serious reps. But you need to protect Tom Brady. And then the running game will suffer as well Nick, you mentioned Rex Burkhead, James White, Sony Michel. If these guys can't get it together, you eliminate the running game, and then it's back to the Tom Brady, dick and dunk, quick slants. And we know this offense it's way too good for us to be doing dick and dunks right now. You have AB, Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman. Come on, you got to start slinging that football. So Skarnecchia has some time because of the schedule, but he has a lot of work to do as well. I think Marcus Cannon does come back. I don't think it was too serious because it was pretty much a game time decision for him. So he'll come back, solidify that right side. But Patriots are going to need to make some moves, and then you kind of feel like, damn, did we really need to get AB when we could have used this money to really, solidify some depth in this offensive line, which I think would have been more important than getting another wide receiver.
Yeah, Cannon's I think looked a lot worse because I mean you guys remember obviously game one, Cannon went down and he looked like looked like the shoulder could have been something very serious. So I wouldn't be shocked if he comes back next week. So I'm really focusing here on Isaiah Wynn and Ted Karras. Isaiah Wynn, we didn't really know what to expect from him. Remember last year he had a ruptured Achilles, so you didn't know if he was going to have that speed side to side that he does have, and he has looked great this year. So losing him really hurts. Bringing in Newhouse is okay. He's a decent supplement. He's been around the league now. He's 30 years old. But that left side is so important to a 42-year-old quarterback. Mike, you said it. If Tom Brady goes down now at this age, and yeah, despite his past, Tom Brady really doesn't get hurt, knock on wood. But if he does get hurt with a serious injury now, 42 years old, you don't just recover like that. You're not a 27-year-old who's all of a sudden recovered after a few weeks and you're back in the game. This could really knock him out for, potentially his career. So protecting that left side is huge. And not to mention, it's been a revolving door at the left tackle spot. You're now on your fourth guy, if you want to just include Newhouse in that lineup, because you went from Solder, you went to Trent Brown, Isaiah Wynn, and now you're on Newhouse. You're on your fourth guy. You really need stability
there, man.
Stability.
One thing I will say, it might be possible we might see Joe Tooney out there in left tackle as well.
They worked him a lot over preseason.
Over training camp in preseason, he was over there because you didn't know what to expect from Isaiah Wynn. So don't be surprised if you see Tooney out there.
That's true. And Ted Karras has been around the team now for 4 years. He's been with the Patriots for 4 years. So I'm not as concerned about him. I'm just mostly worried about the blind side protecting Tom Brady's line at 42 years old, especially because I was so happy to see what Isaiah Wynn was doing with that left tackle spot. All right, we'll do this one quick. Stephen Gostkowski, can this guy, he's already missed, 2 kicks? I've got the stats right here. Already missed 2 PATs and missed a field goal, and he looked horrific in Miami yesterday. So, Marv, we'll throw it over to you first, and then we'll jump over to Mike. Could Stephen Gostkowski bite this team in the ass at some point this season?
Absolutely. He's done it before. Look, Gostkowski has won his game, but he's also put Patriots in some peculiar situations in playoff games. And now it's starting to become an every week thing. There was a time where Stephen Gostkowski seemed like he was automatic, but missing PATs, this is starting to become too much. If you're in a shootout with a team such as Kansas City, every point matters. Everything matters. You don't want to be in a situation where you're always going to have to go for 2. And Gostkowski right now can't be trusted. I understand they have the rookie punter right now. He's Bailey, I believe his name is. He's the one being the holder, and it's just not working. They got to figure something out. Preseason, it didn't look good. The first game, they connected. So like, okay, we don't have to worry about it no more. But in Miami, no wind, 90 degrees, you're up by 1,000,000 points, and you can't hit it right. That's very, very concerning. And it's been a trend now for the past 2-3 years where Gostkowski, you start looking at him like, okay, what's up? 14 years into the league, we've seen what's going on with Vinatieri. He looks like he's on his way out. Maybe send Gostkowski over to Indianapolis and keep him moving as well.
All right, Mike, go off.
I'm ready.
This is your time.
I'm ready for my phone to go off with the notification that says Stephen Gostkowski has been cut by the New England Patriots. Jesus. I'm done. I'm done with him. When I tell y'all I'm done, I don't drive Uber or Lyft, but I'll certainly put the app on my phone just to drop him off at Logan and ship him out of town. I'm done with Stephen Gostkowski. He's lucky. He's lucky this offense is so high-powered that they should probably put up 30 points a game and outscore opponents by a lot. Because, like Marv said, if they're ever in a tight situation, which we've seen probably a couple times in previous season, sometimes he's real shaky. And like I was telling you guys before the show, he's just in just la di da di da kind of mindset where he can miss a kick and just go sit on the bench like nothing's wrong because he doesn't have to worry about his job. I feel like he feels his job is secure, so he has nothing to worry about. I've been waiting for the last 2 seasons. Even if you want to keep Gostkowski, bring a kicker in just to give him some competition during. I really don't know what the man does during training camp. I don't know what he does. I really don't know. But bring some damn competition in so that he can feel like he has to work that much harder to be on his game come regular season. But for right now, he's home chilling. He feels like he has nothing to worry about. But he sucks. He sucks. Extra points are being missed. Come on now. I don't care how many years he's been in the league. If you ain't get, it's all about what have you done for me lately. And if you suck for me lately, I think it's time for you to hit the road, Jack, and don't look back. I'm
We've
all
been waiting. We've been waiting for that rant for a few months now. I know you have to be worried about this guy.
You
He's
have
been
to.
a pain in the ass, and he doesn't look good. And you know what? I'll give him this, Marv. You mentioned Bailey. Uh, there was one hold yesterday that I wasn't too fond of, but regardless, Steven Gostkowski hasn't looked good. And it's not just like a new thing. It's been
No,
years and
No,
years and
it's
years.
not new.
And I mean, I used to just I would protect Gostkowski at all costs. I loved him, but he can't do it anymore because he's missing. You're in Miami with virtually no pressure. If you're doing that with no pressure, your team won 43-0. If you're doing that with no pressure, then what are you going to do when you're under pressure in Kansas City and you have to kick the field goal? Or if you're in New England and you're down by a point in the postseason, what are you going to do when you have to make this field goal to send your team to the Super Bowl?
And
Right?
also, do the coaches trust you now when you're in a situation where you can
Seems
kick
like
a
they
field
do.
goal to win?
see,
Right? Like they won't do anything about it.
please, Patriot scouts. I don't care what you do, but you gotta look at some kickers. You gotta look at some kickers for the upcoming draft. You have to. You have
Like
to.
I wish I had the same job security that Steven Gostkowski had.
Oh my goodness.
Man, listen.
Oh my
Dude,
goodness.
you just underperform every time you come out there. Only perform what 73% of the time now, and you're good. You're gold. You're scot free. You will be fine. I mean, Mike, I'm with it. I'm surprised they didn't bring somebody in just to push this guy's ass
Shocking.
because
That's it. That's
what's
all
his motivation? What's his motivation other than winning? If he doesn't care about that, then what's his motivation? Nothing.
Nothing at all.
All right, guys, this is another CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. Nick Qualia, Marvizan, and Mike Molyneux. Guys, thank you for watching. We will be back next week for another set after week 3 of Patriots football. And guys, don't forget, every single week after every single Patriots game, catch Mike and Marv on the CLNS Media YouTube page to watch their post-game show. I mean, a little biased. It's a good show. It's a very solid show. It's a great show. Check it out every week after every single Patriots game. These guys put in the work. Nick Qualia, Marvizan, Mike Molyneux. Again, we will be back next week. Thanks for watching.